Hey everybody, I got a secret. Before I bought this bike, I had never ridden a motorcycle in my life. So folks, that's it in a nutshell. This will be my first motorcycle ever, and this will be our first ride together. So I guess I can come at the aspect of being a first-time rider. Now this isn't the first time I've actually ridden a bike, of course. I put 600 miles on here and practicing, trying to get good enough to be able to even film a video on a subject like this. So you'll have to excuse my shifting. If you guys don't agree what gear I'm in, I guess you could say something, but this is basically how I learned, and I kind of want to share the first time experience with you guys. So let's go. Oh yeah. Now I'm not here to educate anybody, but as you can see, the bike's in neutral. We have a gear indicator here, so you'll be able to see what gear I'm in right there. I want to tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of first gear, so I like to start off in second. And I know people have a lot of comments, but the first gear on this bike, being as just a 321, the gear is very short, extremely short, maybe up to 11 miles per hour before you have to shift. So it seems to be a little bit useless to me. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Let's start off in first. And we're off. So the bike loves to rev high, but that's just a whole bunch of noise. So I'm at 15 and we're revving at 5,000 RPM. Now if I start off in a standstill from second, I got to give it a little bit more RPMs, but it's a longer gear. So now we're humming pretty good at 5,000, and to keep it quiet, I like to shift early. So as a first-time rider, there were tons of things that I had to get used to. And the number one thing is shifting. That kind of goes without saying because you can't ride a motorcycle without shifting. Now the two primary gears that I use on this bike are number 3 and number 4. For cruising in subdivisions, number 3 is pretty handy. And now 4th, you'll be able to comfortably range between about 20 to 50 miles per hour without too much engine noise. Now don't get me wrong, this is a Yamaha bike. It's supposed to rev high. You know, they want you shifting at about 7,000, or the power band kicks in at about 7,000 RPMs. And that's fun, and we'll show you that. But as far as the noise level, I like to stay in the higher gear so it won't be as loud. Most of you guys know I listen to music. Can't hear my music with the engine being too loud. So as I was saying, the shifting took about a day or two to kind of feel confident enough to ride on the street. Like everybody, I went through the stalling period. That first day was rough. Stalled about 4 or 5 times. So it took a while for me to even take it out of the subdivision. Not that I was scared, but it's not bad to be overly cautious when you're learning something new. Neutral's pretty easy to find on this bike, whether I'm above it or below it. I haven't had too many problems with that. You guys will see shortly I'm going to do something with the mirrors because they're awful. I can't see behind me without tucking in my elbows. Another big thing that I had to get used to was the engine braking. It's much different than that of being on a scooter, obviously. But when you come off the throttle, the engine, hear it slow down? She slows down considerably. So that's a good way of actually helping with if you have any fears about breaking the bike, stopping the bike, the engine braking is very helpful for a new rider. So obviously they tailor this bike for the new rider or an experienced track guy. And I'm going to tell you that I'm very glad that I started out on this bike. It's very forgiving. It does not have a slipper clutch, but it does have a wet clutch, and the clutch works out pretty well. I'll tell you this, she'll let you know if you make a mistake, but not too violently. Again, it's 321 cc's. It's not a 600, but not to say you can't get hurt on anything. We all know that. Transmission's very smooth on this bike when shifting, if you're shifting correctly. Now for me, it was way too early to be worried about and trying to learn blipping the throttle and downshifting. That's an advanced skill to me. So you'll see me downshifting at a stop sign or a stoplight pretty much all at one time, like this. And now we're down in second. When I first started shifting, I was really worried about it, but the more you get enamored with it, it becomes kind of a fun little game. I don't know how to really explain it, but I kind of look forward to shifting the bike. You know, when I get on the motorcycle instead of the scooter or anything else, I know I'm gonna have to actually shift this sucker, and it's fun. It's fun. It can get tiring after a while, but you don't find yourself shifting that much when you're on an expressway or a freeway. You'll stay in one gear. So as everybody knows, all in all, this is a great bike, but I know a lot of you guys came to see what the bike can do. So at this point, I'm gonna shut up and let's see what this sucker can do. Alright folks, this is the perfect setting. As another sun sets, everybody have a great night, and peace out y'all. See you next time.